Hello, 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 and welcome, my Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this new moon in Virgo to full moon next in Aries. I'm your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal, and I'm also the son of a Cancerian sun sign mother, raised by the mothers of the zodiac. Yeah. So I have just an inborn, quite literally, love for each and every one of you. So welcome to my subscribers. Welcome back. You know I love serving up my crab cakes as I can. A little give back for all the love and support that my mom's given me. She's still alive. We're still together. I'll see her next month. I'll drive up to Saratoga and miss my mom. I call her every other day or so. Because, you know, too much of a good thing, right? It's not just the Cancerian way. I'll talk to you in a few days. But otherwise, thank you so much for your loving support, your subscriptions, your likes, your comments. You're hitting that notification bell because apparently that's what it takes to make it on YouTube as a reader. So I really appreciate every little bit of help. If you are new to my channel, please do consider doing the same. Although I would never ask a Cancerian to go against their gut. You'll know by the end of this reading whether or not I'm a reader for you or not. And I got to tell you, I've been doing it since I'm 12 years old. I just turned 52 on September 6th. So, well, it'll technically be 40 years tarot, I think, spring or summer next year. There's a whole story there, obviously, involving Key West of all places. But let's get down to biz, shall we? This is a What Do I Need read, asking my my guides, my pantheons of the divine, what it is that you need from this new moon in Virgo, which is on September 17th. It's at 7 a.m. Eastern time, though, and it goes void, of course, 7:42. So it's like a 42-minute window of opportunity to get your magic, your intention work if you want to wake up that early. But if you can wait until 2:56 p.m., the moon will be going into Libra. So at least you can still get your new moon stuff in that day, just maybe not in the Virgo vibe you were shooting for, unless you really want to set your alarm. That being said, we're looking at the waxing moon then, from that new moon to the blood moon in Aries. Thanks for naming it that. October 1st. Welcome to 2020. Oh yeah, let's start off October with a blood moon. Oh, people be talking about supermoons and all that stuff too. It's like, please, can we take it down a notch with the rhetoric? But nope, not in 2020. So that's why I think these readings might be particularly helpful to show you what it is you need to know so that you can make wise decisions, so that you can work with the waxing of the moon, building strength, right? You know, drawing to yourself, embracing that which you need, right? As is written in the description box, by the way. So it's a general read. We're doing 11 cards, 4 of which will be oracle cards, 6 of which will be tarot, and the last one will be one of the healing mantra card from the healing mantra deck by Matt Kahn, who you know I love and adore. So let's get down to it. Focus on your breath, right? Keep it in the present moment as best as you can so you can take what resonates, what doesn't. I will do the same, and I think that's about it. Let's do this. Breathe. All the decks that I'm reading are in the description box all the way at the bottom. So let's dive in for my Cancerians, my cardinal waters. Here we go. Oh, my collective pantheons of angels, gods, and goddesses. Please, using the angels, gods, and goddesses oracle, please, what is the dominant energy for them that they need to be aware of? Right? So what do I need read? What do they need to be aware of this new moon in Virgo to full moon next in Aries, literally from September to October 1st? Please, what is the most dominant energy that they need to be aware of in this waxing moon? The Angel of Addiction Healing. Like I've said many times, this particular oracle deck is a little right between the eyes. Oh, and this one's getting snaky bites. Look at this. Snaky bite, angel. Oh, not great. Angel of Addiction Healing. This is a time of positive transformation and healing. I would click off if this was my reading, but let's keep going. How dare you? How dare you, right? But, you know, let's talk about addictions briefly, because I could talk about it for years. We all have them. Everybody has their attachments, their addictions. I mean, when I really started studying holistic healing when I was a teenager, because I started very young, there's this book, Handbook for Higher Consciousness. Ken Keyes, I guess it depends on how you wanted to pronounce his name. And he said that there's a difference between a preference and an addiction. A preference, you don't get it, you're uncomfortable, but it's not the end of the world. An addiction, you don't get it, you're in pain and suffering. And I've always used that, right? It's like, I quit smoking like that. I guess it was a habit. Like, I didn't detox. I also had this sinus infection that ate Long Island last year when I quit in November, right? But just like walked away. I've even had a cigarette here or there at a party and just it's not there. So though that might have been an addiction at one point, because of the emotional healing work I've been doing for the majority of this life, not really my thing. I know people who are addicted to being right. So when they're proven wrong, they go through withdrawal. And it's like a detox. It's really, really intense. So get that everybody has them, whether a reason, a season, or a lifetime, or maybe this isn't you, right? Maybe you are dealing with somebody. Well, you know, like I said, we all have them. There might be some mirroring going on as I'm tuning into this now a bit more intuitively. But just look at what happens when you don't get your way, when you don't get your want. This is true for all of us. What do you go to? What is your control mechanism? If it really is, well, you know what? I'm going to go in and talk to that child of my heart, Cancerians, that you are going to nurture my own innocence, that somehow there's a gift in this, then you're really leaning in a direction of healing. But let's see what else the cards have to say. I just think that's a bit... a bit much right out the gate. You know what I mean? But hey... I just draw them and explain them. I say the prayer. I write the cards. Breathe. Because who better to turn to than the Kuan Yin Oracle? We're actually going to use the Kuan Yin Oracle to represent aspects of the Divine Feminine, and the Blue Angel Oracle, the Archangel Michael Oracle, essentially, for the Divine Masculine. So what do you need to know on the inside and the outside? Kind of, sort of. Breathe. Because with an opening card like that, I really want to talk. I would really want to talk to Kuan Yin. My beloved Kuan Yin. Hi, good morning. Please, one card in clarity for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for this new moon in Virgo, which is all about healing and occupation. What are you occupied with? Like, really good for looking at addiction stuff, second chakra stuff too. All that addiction, Virgo stuff, and Libra, to the full moon, the full blood moon in Aries, October 10th. Please, considering that they've got the angel of addiction healing, this is a time of positive transformation and healing, which one would hope. Healing in general would be a positive thing. Can you please clarify that? That's the card. Thank you, Kuan Yin. Sisters of the Sun Rising. These cards, I'll show you, they're so beautiful. The Kuan Yin Oracle, it's, the Kuan Yin Oracle, the angels, gods, and goddesses, the Archangel Michael, or the Blue Angel Oracle, I should say, and the Whispers of Love, all the same company, and I adore their artwork, and I adore, it's just on the Archangel cards, the card numbers, itty bitty teeny tiny, as you'll see in a minute. So card number 28, Sisters of the Sun Rising. Now I know a reader reading from a book, it may not be the most dynamic thing to do, but these are really good. I'm only going to read you the first part and the last part. There's all sorts in between here. Breathe. Sisters of the Sun Rising, you are a highly creative being with the potential to help raise the vibration of consciousness on this planet through your creative projects, work, dreams, and hobbies. So right there, it is even kind of sort of talking about the creativity, maybe not just the second chakra, the third eye, the other chakras as well. But, you know, if we're looking at addictions, I just know from studying Carolyn Mace's work, MYSS, if you're unfamiliar with her, oh my God. There's a whole rabbit hole worth not just falling down, but maybe never coming out of. Anatomy of the Spirit in particular, that the two chakras mostly associated or most likely to be involved in addictive patterning is the second chakra, the sacrum, and the throat chakra, right? Because they're both, one's about one-on-one relationships, the navel, you think of the umbilical cord, and the other, the throat chakra, but they're also obviously part of creativity and expression, sexuality, money, finances, all that stuff. The power of collaboration, choosing to work with others in joint projects allows for energy to occur where you can grow stronger and become more than the sum of your individual parts, calling in great cosmic assistance and potency. In other words, to really start not farming out work, but start co-creating with other people, not just co-creating with your higher self or the universe, which is always in play, whether you're aware of it or not. But, you know, the sisters of the rising sun, a support network at least, right? A collaboration here. Because if there is a way to move this energy, perhaps a creative energy, healing it from a place of addiction to one of creativity. In other words, it's just creative or sexual energy rerouted into an unhealthy direction to route it in a more healthy direction. That collaboration looks like that could be part of this. And what you would need to know there is like building a stronger circuit so that energy can flow in a healthier way. You are guided to remain open to other souls joining forces with you, and that may not just be on a creative project. How many of you, you know, are, I don't know, writing music or writing books, or, you know, there's so many ways that creativity happens that it's not necessarily product driven where you sell it, right? Just like the sisters of the sun rising that bring great energy to help humanity through their group endeavors. When you allow for aligned group effort, much that is wonderful can occur. Just giving flashes of the opening musical number of Xanadu. The muses popping through the wall on roller skates, of all things, leg warmers and blue eyeshadow. A prayer of the sisters of the sun rising, right? Weren't they called the 9 sisters in that movie? Yeah, I have a weird, fucked up memory. But here's the prayer. Let's do the prayer. Take a minute. Oh, Kuan Yin, please say this prayer with me. Beloved sisters of the sun rising, sweet sister Kuan Yin, thank you for your help now in opening my heart fearlessly with confidence, faith, friendliness, firm boundaries, and an open mind to be inspired, supported, and helped in my making successful creative collaborations. May all such relationships be blessed in my life now. Om Mani Padme Hum. Oh, that's lovely. I love this deck. If I haven't said it before, which I have, I'm very good at promoting other people's stuff. My own, I'm like, hey, I hope you like it. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And let's ask Archangel Michael. However, this deck is a different universe. This is like, and now for something completely different, yet somehow interconnected. I don't know, just all of a sudden you're in a portal of ascension with these decks. Let's see how this goes. Let's ask Archangel Michael. He's so cute. Hi, Archangel Michael. It's me, Chelsea. He does like a good laugh. He's not as stern as they make him out to be. He's the angel of fire, powers of the south. Of course, he's got a sense of humor and he's hot. Obviously, breathe. I love being a mystic. Archangel Michael, please, one card in clarity for the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. For this new moon in Virgo to full moon next in Aries, the blood moon, in October. Please, the angels, you would know them. The angel of addiction healing, which I can imagine gets around a lot these days, is showing here that this is a time of positive transformation and healing. Sisters of the Sun Rising saying that this is a collaborative effort, that they're not to go through this alone. And Cancerians are so good at pouring out their cup. Asking anybody for help, right, is like torture for them. Will they allow people who are there to help, let alone ones who might be asking, right? So please, Archangel Michael, one card in clarity for them. What is it that they need to know this new moon to full moon next? Eternity, the immortal present. Oh, good. This is all about staying in the present moment and everything that you need really being here in the now for you, which, you know, be here now. It's not new. Oh, really? Is Is that how that is? Be here now. Oh, Ram Dass will be so thrilled to find out. Card number 44. I know I'm a smartass, but better a smartass than a dumbass, I always said, even when I was really little, which got me into trouble. Big shock. Breathe. Archangel Michael, please. Eternity, the immortal present. This life which projects you forward is also the eternal life which folds back within itself endlessly time and time again. Party turned. Your life unfolds within itself in an endless cycle. The future is inside you, waiting to appear. It lives alongside you this present moment. You will never have more or less than the present. Now, let's pause there. There's more, but let's look at that. Let's unpack that a little bit. So the present and the future are all here now. Past, obviously, present, and memory. It's always folding back in on itself, right? How often, when you look forward into the future, do you reflect to something in the past? You have access to all of it here and now, but you will never have any more or less than what you have in this present moment, because in the immortal present is all that is. This is why there are so many spiritual symbols that people don't understand are saying exactly that. For instance, the cross, equal-armed, crucifix, whichever one. Eternity, the divine, intersecting with linear time only in the now. I'll leave that there for now, because I can teach about this shit forever. All you are, all you have ever been, and all you will ever be is already here. It exists inside you. We know that. The power is within. Louise Hay wrote a book about it. This card reminds you to keep focused on the present, for in the present everything exists. The magic creation is now. Oh, now again, just going to say the magic creation. If this is a creative project thing where there may be some addiction problems, maybe some codependent issues, right? It's another form of addiction that I think is becoming more and more obvious on planet Earth. To sort of keep that in mind, that there is this magic of creation now, but particularly if you are dealing with an addiction, it does say, whatever it is that you're craving, everything that you really need, right, it exists inside you. Now, what you want and what you need, what your body is freaking out because it doesn't have, and what you need, different things. And I'm not here to judge that. I'm not a doctor. I'm a witch. I'm not even a witch doctor. I'm just really good at being a witch. You are an ocean of light unfolding through time. This is your story. You are an ocean of light unfolding through time. Like, you know, ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. Eternity is your destiny waiting to be filled. It's all in front of you, and it's all within us. And we all know this already, and that doesn't always help, but in context. Angel of Healing Addictions. Sisters, I always want to say Sister House of the Rising Sun. Sisters of the Sun Rising, right? A collaborative effort. Let other people in, right? Because yes, everything is within you, but to have the support that you need in the collaboration to make this work. You're not in this alone because we're all one. This is why I don't write greeting cards. Okay, so we have like our three main energies down if you want to look at that, right? You got an angel, we got two angels technically, and a goddess / bodhisattva card there. Addiction healing, Sisters of the Sun Rising collaboration, and eternity, the immortal present. What we're going to do now is get you simple timeline using the Daughters of the Moon Tarot for what's going on inside of you, past, present, future, and then we will use the Mythic Tarot for the Yang, the outside, what's going on. Like simple timeline. This might be last month, like the past card might be last month, this month, next month. That's going to play itself out differently for everybody. Let's see what we get for you. A nice deep breath. My goddesses, three goddesses that I associate with the sign of Cancer. Hestia, Hera, and Hecate, right? The maiden, well, technically the virgin, the queen, and the crone. Not so much the maiden, mother, crone, although the same basic patterning there. The virgin, the queen, and the crone. Please, one card in clarity for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign to represent the past in terms of this new moon, what they need to know in terms of this new moon in Virgo to full moon next in Aries, September, October. A card of the past. Where have they been? Simple timeline, please. Card of the present. Where are they now? Maybe at the time they're watching this or a little before, a little after. And where are they headed? This new moon to full moon next. That felt good. September, October 2020. Kuan Yin. First card down. So coming from the place of the Nine of Cups. Flowing, right? The water flowing. Now this could be the state of... because it's a 9, not a 10, right? Like, you're okay, no, I'm good. Things are flowing. My wishes are being fulfilled, or at least I'm in the flow of that. I can see wishes coming into fruition. But now, see, this is here where I think it gets tricky. You go from that into the Hermit card, right? She who rides alone, the wise one, the hermit, usually voluntary. And this is where I think something must have happened. Now, you'd think like the Tower card or something would show up there, or something to indicate going from a place of in the flow to from the hermit. Now, to me, the hermit's never a punishment. It's often done willingly. Can you be forced into hermitage? Being forced into hermitage is called being in exile. So let's not get it twisted. There's a voluntary thing here, which is often why you see with a lantern some element of fire with the hermit, saying that they are there of their own free will, or at least, the wand, the staff, which is the element of will and desire, power of fire, which also rhymes. So there's a pulling back here, and I think that's very then counterintuitive of you to then allow others to collaborate, to help you heal, or whatever it is this is, because you are tapped in on some level to knowing that everything that you need is within you, that as long as I can stay in the present moment, every breath is guaranteed to me in this life. My last breath I will exhale in this world and inhale in the next, right? There's no break in consciousness that way. That's what Matt Kahn says, and you know what? I kind of remember that, so I'm gonna say okay with that. But see, here's the tricky, where you're headed then is the Pisces card. Now, yes, this could mean a Pisces comes in. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, who cares what sign they are, but they're definitely looking at a more sympathetic, if this is represented as a person, this could also be emotional healing. Remember, this is the yin part of it. That's why this being a person inside of you, it could be more likely that your addictive patterns are starting to show, or at least you're starting to feel them and to connect with them. Because again, everybody has them, and as one of us heals an addiction, it gets easier for everyone in the collective to heal that particular addiction and addiction in general. That's the quantum nature of all of this. We are all one. See, that I am a reader that comes from a standpoint of that we are all one. Not that we're all separate becoming one, but that we've always been one, right? The holographic nature of human reality in this world. We are one with everything. There's only one breath. Prove me wrong. There's only one breath. Prove me wrong, right? It's like, I know it's a little icky, wear your mask, but you know what I'm talking about, right? There's only one life force. There's only one system of prana, chi, life force, whatever you want to call it. So be aware of the collective unconscious, the 12th house. I'm a Pisces moon. I know this. We're the mystic and the addict, right? How do we balance those out? Because if you give yourself the love that only you can give you, which is essentially the self-love that opens you up to the divine love, it's the true love, that tends to undercut a lot of, or at least heal and dissolve a lot of the entanglements that come with addiction issues. Now, again, this might not be you. This absolutely could be because you are a Cancerian, right? Like you're going along and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I gotta get out of Dodge here. I need to pull back. Maybe because you are dealing with someone else's addictive issues. And even if that's true, brilliant opportunity to take a look at your own. Because you can't heal somebody of an addiction. That's between them and the divine. That's why the 12-step process, which I know doesn't work for everybody. Believe me. I was a minister for years. Trust me, reverend and a minister. I've known a lot of people in the program. For some people it works, for some people it doesn't. To me, the question to ask, and it's just so funny because I was watching a video by Matt Kahn just earlier today, and the name of the video is, What Would Love Do? What would love do? To ask yourself that, to go in and say, well, what would love do? Well, love would say, then help me heal my issues with this addict, whether it's me or not, because as I do it, it is a service to all of humanity. And, you know, this could have been the Cancerian card. It's not. It's the Pisces card. So it's coming into a place, I think, of deeper empathy, deeper emotional healing, and all within yourself. So make sure Oh, yeah, absolutely. The goddesses just say, make sure you are taking care of yourself. Remember, I called upon the Virgin, the Queen, and the Crone. Hestia is very good on her own, as is Hecate. Hera likes to rule things. And my mother's a Hera archetype. I'm familiar with that vibe. Let's see what this looks like on the outside, because I could say it's a little amorphous. I'm an earth sign. I like to be a little bit more concrete. Concrete. Breathe. I know, all this and sober. Ooh, please, my gods. Hi, guys. Hi. Well, can I please, my beloved divine masculines, my gods. That feels lovely. Please. 3 cards, simple timeline to clarify this past, present, future here for this Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for this new moon in Virgo to full moon next in Aries. That Aries full moon, I think, is going to be, well, full moons are usually tricky, but it feels like this one's like, no bueno. I don't get a good feeling, but I think that's collective. I don't think it's just the Cancerians, but you are the moon children. So kind of getting loud and clear for that Virgo card. Well, the Virgo card, it is the Virgo card. I mean, the Hermit. That Hermit card to, like, really pull back, not just for your own protection and safety, or, you know, if you're just not running away from somebody, but running into your own light, running into your own power. You know, she is carrying a wand there. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not with the reflection on, but can you see in her hand she's got a wand there with a glowing crystal at the end. So that's the light that she carries, literally channeling her own inner light to light the way before her. So please, my gods, please clarify this Kuan Yin card. Considering Kuan Yin's on the table, right? Anyway, she's on here twice. Please, what is the card to clarify that in the past for this Cancerian? What's going on there? Oh, well, the 9 of Pentacles with the 9 of Cups. So you really have your own. You're really okay. You're really coming from a place of not just wish fulfillment, but, yeah, no, I got mine. I'm good. The larder is full, I'm getting my rest, I'm feeling okay, don't need nobody. So maybe this is the indication that this, at least coming from the past, is not you, the one who is, you may be struggling with someone else's addiction rather than your own. Because what would send you into that hermit place where you're like, oh no, I need to gather my forces, I need to prepare myself for this. And with those Sisters of the Sun rising, it might be like an intervention or something, like other people are collaborating with this. Let's look. My gods, can you clarify the wise one, the hermit, for me here? Okay, well, good. 7 of Cups. So it's a considering of options. So it's very internal, right? I mean, we don't really think of the 7 of Cups so much as an external experience anyway. Castles in the sky. And this, I mean, it's such a sad card in a way. It's the yet soon-to-be goddess Psyche begging her mother-in-law Aphrodite, what do I got to do to get in your good graces so I can really be with my husband, your son, because they're already married but not blessed by the gods, particularly the goddess of love. You'd kind of want her blessing, right? Mere mortal, how dare you? It's very Endora and Samantha. But she says, well, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, or you can go fuck off, right? So, looking at the options there. Well, it's a lovely myth. Eros and Psyche. Beautiful myth. So that might even be contemplation. Well, I could do this. I could do this. I mean, you're a Cancerian, so this does feel like going in your own shell, feeling things out, and really know that everything that you need to know is in the present moment, in the immortal present. It just might not tell you what's going to happen in the future, right? It might just be, well, here are the options. Feel them out for now, right? Because to go into this Pisces card, maybe this is the addict. But again, that would, I would think, represent more of an internal state of empathy, of sympathy, of emotional healing, of both the dolphin and the shark. You know, addictions are like that. Because obviously there's the fun side of it, the meal, and then the check, right? What you're like afterwards, the withdrawal and all of that. And again, this need not necessarily be a substance. Remember, addictions are not always about externals, right? Can be addicted to a spiritual system that no longer serves. Who am I without it, right? What's the loss, right? The difference between a preference and an addiction is if you don't get the object or the thing desired, are you Are you uncomfortable? Which is fine. I mean, uncomfortable. It's like taking a cold shower. It's not going to kill you. I love cold showers, by the way. Thank you, Wim Hof. But is not getting what you want causing you inordinate pain and suffering? Then you're really looking at an addiction here. So please, what does this look like in the future? Please, my gods, one card in clarity. Queen of Wands. So a Leo energy here. I do feel like this is somebody else. Like, it feels like, honestly, this is an odd scenario for an entire collective of Cancerian, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. But I do get the feeling like with this card of Sisters of the Sun Rising that there are people coming to you and say, look, we got to work on this. We need help. Things are getting out of hand. There is an addiction in place that needs to. Now, they may want to deal with it. You may want to heal it. I don't get this is out and out you, certainly. It could be, like I said, everybody's got their own addictions, and maybe that's part of, right? Because you are coming from this lovely place. That's why I kind of say it's like, really? Like, this does not denote addiction. The Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles, if anything, it's quite the opposite. No, I'm chill within myself. Thank you. I'm loving myself. No, my house is in order. I've got money in the bank. Things are okay. I'm feeling secure, right? So many cards that could have come up depicting something else there. So maybe this is you going inside and say, well, okay, if I'm going to do this, I got to go inside. I got to pull back and prepare myself for this. I've got to not just rejuvenate, I've got to really feel out my options, not just think them out, feel them out, which feels best. Now, I will tell you, there's a brilliant Matt Kahn mantra. Essentially, it's about acknowledging your intuition and acknowledging apprehension, I think is the name of it. And it goes something along the lines of, if it's a yes, nothing can stop me, and if I'm unsure, it's always a no. At least for that moment, right? So to kind of go in and feel that out. Now, here's another thing that I'm hearing. For some of you, if you've already done the addiction dance, then you might be being called in service, even if you don't do that as a professional service, right? It's like, you've been through this before, go talk to them. And you're like, whoa, trigger. No. I need to kind of pull back and make sure I'm, right? Keep it in the eye. Oh my God, I'm talking 12-step. I wasn't even in a 12-step program, but I studied it like a demon because so many people were talking the language I wanted to. I'm really a spiritual linguist and a translator. That's what I really am. Soul path number 3. So that Maiden of Cups, that Pisces, I really feel like you have the ability to perhaps get through to this person. And I will say, the Leo card, interestingly enough, 5th house, creativity and good fortune. So there's that creativity thing in here as well. So, I mean, if there really is an artistic, creative, remember, creativity is not all about product, it's more about process. But if there's something here that's about bringing this eternal present forward with this creativity in healing of addictions with some kind of collaboration, then I feel like there is like some great healing that can happen here. But right now you're being asked still to do your own. What is the most loving option that you can take here that still honors you and doesn't plunge you into where you are not truly meant to go? Because Cancerians, those crabs, they can skitter into anywhere, but that doesn't mean it's always the best place for them to skitter into if they're doing it out of a false sense of honor or duty or maybe attachment. You know, it's tricky shit. I'll be the first to say it's a tricky gnosis. As my friend Salmonella likes to say. Let's keep going. We are going to get you your last 2 cards down, right? We're going to get you the Whisper of Love Oracle, the Voices of Your Higher Self, right here in my hand, and then we'll get you that healing mantra. I want to see what this is about. Breathe. I know, this is one where it's like, this is one where there would be a good extended, but I'm not doing an extended read for the What Do I Need reads. It's too vague, right? It's different with Twin Flames and Soulmates. Plus those Twin Flames and Soulmate nearly killed me. Breathe. All right, the higher selves have all involved, and I am getting there are a lot of people involved here, so please, all you get together. being that you're all essentially one anyway. One card in clarity for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sun. What do they need to know? What is the piece of inspiration, information, or insight that they need for this new moon in Virgo, which again they're highlighting as a really good beginning, a really way of saying we're going to start this healing, right? We're going to plant this seed, because Virgo is all about occupation and health. So what you're occupied with affects your health. So are you occupied with the addiction or the healing of the addiction? A simple way of looking at it. To this full moon in Aries, October 1st, 2020. Please, the blood moon. One card in clarity for this Cancerian collective, please. I love you. These are very important words. How do I know that's the card? Because it's the same on both sides. I love you. These are very important words. Now, I already can tell you, if you are aware of the work of Matt Kahn, there's your answer. If you're not, go watch some of his videos. Matt Kahn, All for Love, brilliant channel, saved my life. Watched one of his videos today. Very, very helpful. In fact, the one I watched is called What Would Love Do? The old, what he says, what's going to allow certain spiritual practices and paradigms to make it into the new world, the fifth dimensional world, is not just are they interesting, are they helpful? Because lots of things are interesting, but they're not necessarily helpful. Right? So it's that heart-centeredness. So I love you really is the answer here. And what do you think that eternal power is that's inside of you? Always. It's the love that you are. Not that the love that you have or the love that you give. That's all part of it. But it is the love that you are. So perhaps to go in and do that inner child work, talking to your heart chakra as the inner child is such a simplifying and powerful thing. I don't even want to call it a metaphor. It's holographic. And in there is also the planet Earth, right? The heart chakra, the emerald green heart chakra as the Earth with the inner child. It's very The Little Prince, gotta say, the imagery I get. But I talk to that kid. It's not a healing technique for me anymore. It's a relationship. Like every morning, during the day, and at night, I check on that kid, right? Spend time with them. I'll tell you, being isolated at home, really good work to do. And of course, a lot of people's addictions, if they are isolated, are coming up left, right, and center, because we go from coping mechanism to addiction, right? Especially this long. So I love you. These are very important words. That's your number one option that you can do right now. Just, I love you. No matter what this crazy shit is about, I love you. No matter what anybody else says or does, whatever comes, whatever goes, I love you. Like, that's the kind of love only you can give yourself. We want it from everybody else, but you know, I've said many, many times, you know, the Wiccan Reed poetic version, Doreen Valiente, first line, "By the Wiccan law you must in perfect love and perfect trust." Well, perfect love and perfect trust of the gods, because everybody else has bad days. I give myself the love only I can. Words to live by. The Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. Shall we? The Ascended Masters. Breathe. In my way, a more human bunch in a pantheon, but also, like, I mean, they're all smart. There's such a thing as a pantheon of stupid, well, in the higher planes. I can think of plenty in the physical world. Welcome to the pantheon of stupid. Really funny. Larry, Moe, and Curly. So please, my Ascended Masters, with your unlimited love, power, and wisdom, please, one card in clarity for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for this new moon in Virgo to full moon next. The blood moon of in Aries, October 1st, 2020, considering we've got the Angel of Addiction healing, the Sisters of the Sun rising, some sort of collaboration, the Card of Eternity from Archangel Michael, the Immortal Present, the past here, the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Cups on the inside, Nine of Pentacles on the outside, in the recent past, stable and balanced and full as can be. Where they are now, the Hermit with the Seven of Cups really going within to really feel out what the best options are for themselves and maybe for the well-being of all concerned. But where this goes, the Piscean on the inside with the Queen of Cups on, the Queen of Wands on the outside, that's a lot. Pisces on the inside, Leo on the outside. This could really be a fire and water situation that they're stepping into here. So with the words, I love you there from the higher selves of all involved, what is their perfect healing mantra? What do you recommend to them, my Ascended Masters? Well, that's an interesting card to throw down there, considering one of the words on the card is a name of a drug. Inviting ecstasy. Sorry, I'm having an 80s/90s flashback. That was a long time ago. Oh my God. Inviting ecstasy. I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires. Now, you say that to an addict. If they're not in the balanced place of getting what that really means, and of course I'm going to read it from the book in a minute, this is about having a healthy relationship to pleasure. Now, would be ultimate, really. If an addict could say, all right, I'll put down the whatever, fill in the blank. You know, what if someone's addicted to food? You got to eat. Like, that's hard. Like, that's hard. I mean, I'm stupid. I'm one of those people who forget to eat. Because I work. I do this all day long. And if I'm not doing this here, I'm doing it with people on the phone, right? Or meditating or praying. That's the life of a mystic. Lockdown. So I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires might be the very mantra to help whoever this is, but certainly for the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, this feels like a pivotal thing here. Like maybe even if you are walking into someone else's addiction stuff. I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires. When ecstasy is invited, you feel aligned and ready to receive all the miraculous and joyful gifts of experience the universe is ready to provide you. Okay, so it's in preparation, right? It's saying, all right, I'm inviting it in. It may not be here, but I'm willing, right? That's the word. I am worthy of all the pleasures my heart desires. May not get them, but I'm worthy of them. And doesn't that say something to that child of the heart that we were just talking about? You are worthy of all the pleasure your heart desires, but we have to do this in a healthy way. The impatient, heartbroken, rejected, abandoned, neglected, codependent, experiencing loss, whatever that child has gone through, that's what you've been through. Get yourself in that place of really saying, no, honey, you are worthy of all the pleasure your heart desires, but but you're also worthy of it coming in a healthy way, which is, I think, in a way, the rest of this. Ecstasy acts as a cosmic green light that grants your destiny permission to enter. In many instances, pain can be healed and released once a healthy relationship with pleasure is established. That's part of the recovery process. It's not like, okay, what made you feel good must now go forever. Granted, it's usually an external thing, not always, as we said. Someone can be addicted to being right? In a way that's sort of like approval, but proof of approval. So that may be taken away. That's being taken away for all of us in some way, shape, or form, so that we turn inward and do this very process. This mantra is ideal for increasing self-worth, right? Worthy of. Elevating levels of excitement and allowing bigger dreams, right? Like, so instead of just getting a fix, how about this bigger dream of your destiny coming and unfolding in the universe, giving you something better than you can even imagine? And yet we all have the free will and choice. Like, what is addiction at the end of the day? That's why it's, yes, the second chakra, but also the throat chakra, choices and decisions, right? When we keep making the same choice, that's the deadly sin of gluttony. Like, get stuck, almost like a default that you can't switch over to anything else. Like, growing up, we all have a default to fear, right? It's trained, but we learn it, right? We're born loving, but, you know, the default switch gets stuck in fear. As we grow and learn the spiritual path in particular, what would love do? Love's the one that's afraid within us, not punishes it, not deprives it, not starves it, talks to it, loves it, comforts it, so that it can make the move gradually to a more consistent default of love. So I'll put it all together for you, but it does it's puzzle pieces here. You're looking at the angel of addiction healing, that this is a time of positive transformation and healing, and you're not in it alone. Whoever is going through this time with you, you're all in it together. It's going to be a family thing, but there are collaborators that you are asked to be graceful in letting in to help, and yet everything that you need is within you. So maybe you are reaching out to others to help you with a particular addiction issue. Maybe it's letting go of somebody, a twin flame contract that is just ended and there's just everything else left inside of you is clearing out. Lord knows I've been there. Still finding stuff pop up there I also think the situation we're in on planet Earth has a lot to do with that, right? And in the past, it is this Nine of Pentacles. You were in a very self-sustaining place, right? That Nine of Cups on the inner, the Nine of Pentacles on the outer. There's a real stability there. Granted, not a 10, but I wouldn't say suffering at a deficit and in pain because of that one cup and that one pentacle. Because where you are right now is going within and contemplating your options emotionally, feeling them out. How does this feel? How does this feel? How does this feel? How does this feel? And sometimes what we are afraid of doing is the thing that the soul most needs. So that's why feeling it out, just because you're afraid of something doesn't necessarily mean it feels wrong. And that is a very tricky difference to feel, right? We might be afraid to make a phone call that we really need to make, but that doesn't mean we're not supposed to make the phone call. Right? You hear what I'm saying? Tricky gnosis. But what I find interesting here, on the inner, you've got the Piscean card here. So if this is indeed you, yes, it could be some Leo character, kind of, sorta, that fixed fire Queen of Wands. But my sense is that there is some emotional healing coming on here. And there is stuff that is collective. So even within the group, you might all be healing similar patterns of addiction, even if it seems to be focused all on one person. And that's another really interesting way to look at it. But maybe because of this Leo card, you taking the lead in some way, you bringing your creativity to it with the words I love you. It's a very important word. I mean, literally it says these are very important words. Do you know how often those three words have been abused? Do you know how magical they are when they're actually meant? I love you. Like, not trying to get over, right? Not trying to get something, not I love you with a hook in it, but no, I love you. I love you, and I'm sorry you're in pain. And I do love you because we're all one. And I'm talking to you directly. I am sorry for any pain that you might be in, that an addiction was put into place maybe before you even knew any of this was going on, or with anybody that you're dealing with. I love you. Can you feel that? That's that power of those three words used. Otherwise, But through this, there can be an inviting of ecstasy. I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires. So that is really allowing more of a spiritual, giving yourself the love, the pleasure that only you can give you, but in a more spiritual, heart-centered place. So let me give you the prayer, shall we? I like doing this. Sort of like shuffle the cards, and the prayer kind of makes itself as I go. Nice deep breath. May the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need this new moon in Virgo to full moon next in Pisces, as they come from this place of contentment and stability, that they move into this more interior place. They're doing it the exact order. That they can see their options and maybe lead the way in terms of some emotional healing, motion, and pain that is going on for them, or within this larger, where'd it go? Within this larger collaboration of people involved here, knowing that I love you are the key words, but they must be meant. They must be meant and felt out in order to invite in the ecstasy, being worthy of all the pleasure their hearts desires, as this angel of healing addiction comes in, this time of positive transformation, knowing that the future is right alongside of you and that everything that they need is within them for their healing, their well-being, and for the well-being of all. May they be so blessed. So mote it be. And so it is. And there you have it. My Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, comment. Like, I want to know, like, is this you? Is this somebody else? You don't have to come right out and say what the addiction is necessarily. But this can play itself out so many different ways. It's really like walking down a road and then having a near infinite number of forks, F-O-R-K-S, just making sure you hear me right, into the future. So thank you so much for watching again. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed of this new moon to full moon next September into October. My darlings, I do love you. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.